Thank you for tuning in today again for another hoop shoe review for you. This is Bazooka Hoopz coming at you today with another video. We have the KD14s today. This is a multi-colorway. I'm not exactly sure of the exact specific name of this, but you know, a few years late to the KD14 scene. But let me tell you, these should not be slept on. Type of hooper I am. I work out of the triple threat very often, hard cuts, side to side movements. I rely on my tractions, step backs, fadeaways, hard drives. Starting off here with the colorway. Yeah, like I said, this is a multi colorway here. We have a bunch of different colors on the shoe. We have the beige going all the way around the shoe, and it looks like we have kind of a, you know, undertone of blue. You can kind of see the blue under the beige a little bit, which is just a nice little hint to it. Just a big fan of the color cream. It's better than white. I think this blue is more like a baby blue. When you look at it in person, this kind of resembles the Chicago flag. If you've seen the flag for Chicago, you know what flag I'm talking about. It's going to be all on our sock liner. You know, just little accents around the shoe. You can see it, which is very nice. The ends of the shoelaces, you can see the baby blue. Then we have a red, which is kind of like a melon tint to it. It's not exactly red, it's not exactly pink. You could say hot pink, you know, melon type color. And that's going to be the laces. Inside the tongue, bottom, we have a nice color on the traction pattern. We have a camo, which is basically that blue, that pink, and that beige color all mixed into one. Huge fan of these bottoms. I got these shoes used. They were used probably a few times when I bought them. They were still basically really stiff when I got them, not much use out of them. I got them from what under retail would be. I also got them a lot cheaper than what StockX has these shoes going for. If you check and see what a size 13 is on these, you can see, you know, what they go for. The reason I got these is because they're a steal, they're a wheel and a deal, and that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, real good deal on these. Huge fan of the colorway, and so happy I decided to pull the trigger on these shoes because the performance is deadly. Let me know in the comments, do you guys own KD14s? Starting off here with my staple, my favorite part of the shoe, we have the traction. This traction here is going to resemble a bunch of lines, circles. If you had the 13s, you kind of could see where they implemented it on the 14s. We have some circles on the toe of our foot, the ball of our foot, and then straight lines all around the shoe, you know, kind of mixed in there for coverage in all directions. A lot of people think these are stick on a dime, one of the GOAT traction shoes, but I had a few issues playing on dust. I played at a real dusty elementary school, and there was times where I was wiping every play and it just wasn't sticking exactly how I wanted to. But these are great performers nonetheless. Excellent stopping power for what I look to use it for, and I'm sure for a lot of other people as well. These are just a tick below on what I would consider these really, really good, just because of that dust issue a little bit. Yeah, like the dust has been a little bit of an issue for me. Let me know in the comments if dust is also an issue on here for you. Just had to mark these down just a little bit because of that traction on that dust and the stopping power just not being exactly pinpoint accurate like some of the higher end shoes with the good traction. So for that, I'm gonna have to give these a 8.5 out of 10. Next, we have the materials and containment, and the materials and containment on this shoe. This shoe is very soft all around. These materials, when you press down on it, very squishy, very flimsy, but it feels really nice on your foot. Basically, this thin material wraps around your foot really nice. You can tighten it up as much as you want, and it's not gonna really mess with your foot or hurt your foot too much. It's nice and secured around your foot. So yeah, the outside, it looks furry. It looks like a print. You know, you can feel it and it's furry, but there's an underlay underneath it that is the thin plastic material. So it's gonna be a little bit more durable than you think just because of that thin material on the shoe. It's got a little plastic touch to it, so that's gonna help you out with any drags or any type of movements, you know, where it's gonna cut open that shoe a little bit if you're worried about that. All around though, the top and the upper is very thin on the materials. The heel, same type of material except not plasticky, and it's definitely a little thicker, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot. Containment on this shoe isn't exactly 100% how I like it, and it's not an issue with the shoe because I love playing in the shoe. The only thing is I catch myself playing a little bit less explosive as I usually would. Say a shoe I know has amazing traction, like just stopping on a complete dime with all my weight, all my energy. I find myself playing a little bit more nimble in these, which isn't a bad thing. It's just kind of something I noticed. My foot kind of slides over the bed a little bit, over this material here. When I'm on these hard stops, it kind of goes over the material a little bit, just because the way the material is, not a lot of support here on the sides, which is okay. My foot doesn't slide out a tremendous amount, just the way it is shaped inside the shoe. Let me know in the comments if the material is an issue for you, if you could feel your foot rolling around a little bit. So yeah, all around, I do like the material on this shoe. The material is very conforming, very comfortable on my foot, very thin. The only thing I have to do is just knock it down a little bit for that containment, just because the way I move, how big I am, the material is just a little bit less for what I'm looking for, but I absolutely love it regardless. So for that, I'm gonna have to give these a 8.5 out of 10. Next, we have the cushion, comfort, and bounce on these shoes. And let me tell you, these are underrated because I have barely heard much about these. Cushion and bounce, they play hand in hand together. These shoes are amazing. I mean, the cushion, plush, responsive, cushy. The bounce, the full length zoom strobel, bouncy is all get up. I mean, anywhere you run, you're gonna feel that zoom strobel under your foot, which is very nice. Paired with that plush cushion, this is a match made in heaven, for real. The shoe is well padded all around. The heel, nice and plush cushion. Make your way to the Achilles, nice and plush as well. The tongue isn't exactly as plush as the Achilles and the ankle, but it's still a little nice. You know, it has a little bit of plush to it, but it's still really nice on your foot, and you really don't notice the difference at all. So yeah, like I said, this is a match made in heaven. Let me know in the comments if you had tried the KD14s and if you like it, because this is probably my favorite cushion setup of all time. No digs on this cushion at all. I think it's really great. I love the cushion. The plushness is great. The bounce is great. Everything about it. I love the court feel too. Everything about the shoe is just amazing. This is my first ever for the cushion and comfort, but this is gonna be a 10 out of 10. Next, we're gonna move on to the sizing, fit, and weight on these. Size 13s, and these are definitely one of these shoes where I love my Move insoles in the shoe. I'm not sponsored by Move yet, but let me tell you a little bit about it. I am a huge fan of it because it forms in my foot really well as that forefoot cushion. And honestly, all the paper stock insoles you get for these shoes are really booty. And when I pop my Move insole in a shoe, it's a little bit more of a one-on-one, which I prefer and like. Things are really roomy, and you put your foot in, you can tell there's a lot of room. Lacing it up is a must in order to have a good feel on how it fits. When I put my foot in, I had no width issues at all. This shoe is very wide. I like the way it fits on my foot. There's no pinky toes, no side of my feet hitting the sidewalls at all when I put my foot in, which is very nice. The length for me is just a tad long. I noticed my toe hitting the front a little bit. The length is just a tad long for me. I wish it could be a little bit shorter. I would not go a half size down though, because I enjoy the width on how these feel. Yeah, these shoes don't fit like a true one of one, but when I lace them up, they feel really nice on my foot, and there's not a lot of movement going on besides maybe when I'm playing for a while, I can feel my front of my toe hit it a little bit. But besides that, you know, I have no complaints on how these fit and the sizing. And the weight on these shoes in hand, these feel pretty light. Not one of the heavier shoes I own, but you know, it's definitely not one of the lightest I own. I would say it's probably right in the middle. These feel real good in hand. Let's see what they are on the scale. 16.44 is what these come out to, and these are actually pretty light compared to some of the shoes I own. I know a majority of the Mellow Ball shoes I own are near the 17s, so these are pretty much near the same, and with the technology that these have in there with the full-length zoom strobel, that's pretty impressive to me. On foot, like again, big man review here, so size 13, not really noticing the weight on my shoes too much. On foot, these feel great, no issues on foot. And for the fit being just a tad long on me, you know, my foot slid around it just a little bit. And let me know in the comments if anyone else has issues with that sizing fit, because you know, my foot hits the front here and it does jam up against here. I'm not sure if I went down half a size, if it would fit a little better, you know, so I'm gonna have to knock it down a little bit for that. And just the way my toe felt after a long session, I'm gonna have to give these a 8 out of 10. Moving on to the next category, the clunkiness and playability on these. These bad boys are not clunky at all. I think these have really good smooth transition here. We have nice plush heel all the way to the front. We have the nice plush cushion as well as that full length zoom strobel, which is very money. Nice return on energy, nice bounce, very smooth on foot. The shoe has a nice rounded shape. You can tell here that that is really nice. I found myself playing a little less hard going side to side, just the way my foot rolls around in the shoe a little bit, the way it moves. Maybe it was just in my mind, because honestly on foot, when I go side to side really hard on these, you can't notice my foot rolling over at all, or it doesn't feel like it at all. It's just kind of, you know, how I'm feeling in my mind. Played for about a 3-hour session, and my front of my toe kept hitting the very front here, and it's just the length, the fit. So It hurt my toe though after a little bit. I was about 2.5 hours in. I could feel it that last half an hour. But you know, it's something that I noticed only after 3 hours. It's not anything I noticed playing in, you know, regularly for an hour to 2 hours. So maybe it's just after a little bit, you know, my toe hit in the front, it just got sick of it a little bit. If anyone else has played in the KD14s and loved them, you know, let me know down below, because, you know, these are probably one of my favorites, all-time classics. You know, not moving as hard side to side and my toe hitting the front here. I'm gonna have to knock it down a little bit, but not too much, because I absolutely love these shoes. The playability in these is money. I have to give these a 9 out of 10. Well, finally here, I mean, we're at the end, and you know, I gave you probably the best in-depth breakdown I could do of the shoe. I've played in the shoe quite a bit, and it's one of my go-tos when I'm looking to play a lot of games, looking to get that comfort, because these shoes are classics. I love the Zoom Strobel. I love the cushion they got on it as well. Paired with it, it's really a true dream for me cushion-wise. These are amazing shoes to me. I hope the KD18s, because the KD17s have already been announced, you know, that it doesn't have that full-length Zoom Strobel. I hope they go back to it. Yeah, and the side-to-side issues kind of play a part. It being a little tad long plays a part on the final score here. And, you know, just for that, I'm gonna have to give these shoes a 44 out of 50. The KD14s, which are in second place strongly ahead of everyone else, which is, you know, not surprising to me, because these shoes are classics. I love these. These are performers, and if I could buy multiple pairs, I will. Thank you for tuning in to Bazooka Hoopz today. This was a special one for me. I hope this was a special one for you. I'll be getting some more hoop shoe reviews out for you. If you're looking for anything, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Please like and subscribe, and have a good day. Thank you for coming in. Bazooka Hoopz.